Hello friends, welcome to a mostly unboxing today. Today I am with the Wandering Moon Tarot, the Wandering Echo Major Arcana deck, and the Wandering Soul Oracle. Also in my space today we're accompanied by Happy the Hippo today because ooh, I needed some happy. And my a giant piece of green opal is what I'm using to weigh my tripod down. So I can't really show it to you, but this is probably my favorite crystal that I own. Green opal is this, it brings this energy of like emotional sorbet. It cleans all of the emotional gunk that we're carrying so that we can go through, move forward with clarity. So, yeah, that's what's accompanying us today. All three of these decks are by Rachel Jean. I'm trying to buy a deck per month to limit myself in that way. My intention was to buy the Wandering Soul Oracle, but when I went to her Etsy shop and saw that international shipping was free, I ordered all three. And I'm calling it a mostly unboxing because I have used the Wandering Echo before. I was in a Reiki session last week, and I really felt the pull for to bring tarot, to bring major arcana in like a way to personify energies. I really felt a call to bring this in, and this was sitting on my desk, and I don't have any cards at this point separated into just the major, so I have used this with someone else before, but the only cards I'm familiar with are the cards that we actually used. So that would be the Wheel, Eastern Skies. That's all I remember, Amy, but I know there were a couple more. So as I decide which order to go in, I think I'm going to start with the Wandering Soul Oracle. Now, because I am doing three decks at once, I may not go into the typical reactionary detail that I do typically with tarot, or maybe I will and we'll just be here a while. But this box is beautiful. We've got some foiling with the stars here. We've got Rachel's name on the side, a really sturdy box. And in 100%, in all honesty, I am a sucker for labyrinths. And we can see the foiling here on the stars as well. So when I come across a deck that has a labyrinth on the guidebook, I feel like it's just for me. So each card has a pretty much full page write up. It's nice glossy paper. This is I'm really looking forward to getting to know this deck, but let's look at the cards. So we have a nice, oh, this is showing up really well for you all. Yay. A holographic rainbow gilding here. These cards, they feel like they're going to shuffle well. We'll test it out when I'm done. Let's just move through the cards. They're just simple, fine line. Simple may not be the right word, but fine line drawings on a white background, which I think will mean that they'll pair really well with a lot of decks. I'm leaning toward using these three decks and my Narrative Alchemy Oracle for my June practice, but I'm also not quite sure that I'm ready to let go of the decks that I was using for May, so I'm not sure. We'll talk about that. I'll have a decision hopefully on Friday. So let's go look through these cards. So we have Strength, Locked Away. When I see this card, I think about how much we hold in our chest, how much tension we hold here. And I see this as an invitation to both protect what is near and dear to us while also asking what we're locking away and is that necessary. I'm going to shift. Oh, actually, we're doing pretty good center-wise. Ignore me. Wisdom with this dragonfly. Open. again, are we on the inside of the door opening our way out, or are we on the outside of the door waiting for it to be open so that we can walk inside? I love the duality in these cards already. Ancient records, conceal, lineal truth, escape, metamorphosis. Does anyone else automatically think of Job? Gob? Anytime we see or hear the word illusion, it's an illusion, Michael. Connection. The crown with connection is interesting to me. Seeking, yes, 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 yes. Bound, again, is this beneficial, or is this something that we're being invited to release ourselves from? Consciousness, chance, hope on the wings of a bird. But a bird that has been created. This is not a typical expression of a bird, right? This is a paper crane. This is something that has had to been created, that did not exist, whether we made that ourselves or was given to us. I like this. How can we create hope? Where can we see hope when it may not be naturally occurring? Direction. I love this theme of the stars moving through directionally through each card. Mortality. And I'm really interested in, and this may be like way too much reading into this, but you know, which series, in which cards do they move from left to right, from top to bottom, from bottom to top, to across? I think there's a lot that we can read here in the direction of the stars as well. Origins. Again, a little tongue-in-cheek. I see this as an invitation to be curious without so much weight about where we came from. Memories. Sacred cycles. Find the light. Again, kind of like hope, having to seek it out, to go toward it. It may not be obvious. Vulnerable. I see the arrow here moving from the present to the past, but then the hope, the enlightenment moving from the past to the future, to the present. It's an interesting duality there with the way I see those pointing. Protected. I'm wearing a hamster right now. Oh, wow. I love the concept of higher power as a frequency. Preserving time. Rebirth. Unblock. Luck. Symmetry. I draw mandalas a lot in my spare time, both by pen and on my iPad, and that's beautiful. Liminal space. Burn. Ignites. Caution. This is a beautiful card. Genesis. Close the lid. We're done with that. Let's ship it away. Liberation. Divine language. See beyond. Oh, wow. Cleanse. I love how you can see the outline of each of these beads of water. That's beautiful. Gateway, preserve, celebrate, messenger. Again, the difference in these two cards with the celestial bodies in the back, moving up versus moving down, looking at where we are in the cycles. This is going to be a fun read. Pandora's box, future predictions. Oh my gosh, this one's my favorite so far. Interconnected, communicate, grounded, and then the title card. I'm going to be really honest. First of all, I'm going to put interconnected on top as I talk about this because it's my favorite. I feel like this deck is going to give me what I wanted from Postcards from the Liminal Space and then the other deck by the same creator. I have both of those. But they just feel a little too trendy, a little too almost confrontational to be confrontational, if that makes any sense. I've never really bonded with them, but I love the black and white Sharpie type style. I feel like this deck may give me what I was looking for from the Liminal Space deck. So that being said, if you're at this point and you're like, ooh, I've had my eye out on Postcards from Liminal Space, but it is out of print, let me know and we can talk about it, because I feel like I can let that deck go. I feel like this is going to fill the spot that I was looking for with that deck. So as we move forward into the tarot, I think I'm going to do these side by side. I'm pretty sure, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that these two are interchangeable. So the backs match. They're the same size. So yeah, so these two decks are interchangeable. I should have told you what they are. The full-size deck we have here is the Wandering Moon Tarot, and then the smaller deck is the Wandering Echo, which is just the majors. So let's organize Chrissy's space a little bit because she's making a mess. This is the guidebook for the major arcana. It's the same font, the same size. It looks like each card, has 4 pages or so. Artwork, the card itself. In a reading, upright, reversed, astrological association, astrological considerations, tarot magic, and journal prompt. So there's a lot for each card in the Wandering Echo major arcana. And then in the Wandering Moon Tarot, we have, this is for the minors, we just have a single page. And we have, it looks like a spread, so 2 pages for the majors. So the meaning, upright, reversed, and the artwork. I really like the exploration of the artwork in the tarot deck. I'm actually going to pull the Oracle book back out and see if the guidebook here talks about the artwork as well. It doesn't look like it does, and that's okay. As a, I guess I can say it now because I've sent it off to the printer, but as an indie deck creator myself, I'm really curious about artwork. So I'm excited to see how Jean talks about the artwork in these decks. So I'm going to bring them side by side for the majors. And we'll just talk about how they read. Actually, let's do this so that the stacks match and lighting is off. Okay, so I'm going to put the minors up here for now. And we'll just compare the majors and bonus cards our first round through. Pardon me as I get a drink of water. So I noticed right away that the majors in the major only deck is the same typed font that we had in the Oracle, which were bigger cards. The tarot are the same, but the Oracle is bigger. Where the original deck, the Wandering Soul Tarot, no, Wandering Moon Tarot, is cursive. So this will be the one way that they wouldn't match if we put if I put them together. But I just wanted to acknowledge that. These are two completely different energies. I would honestly probably put both of these in the tarot deck. This full is more looking forward. Now, granted that the place that the figure is hanging is precarious and assumedly very high, but there isn't a jumping involved yet, where the full in the full deck definitely holds that energy. I am going to go ahead, friends, just so you can see which one is which, and put the boxes up top. So we have the Wandering Moon on this side. I'm changing my mind because I don't have room. Cursive is the full deck. Typed is the majors only. So moving then to the Magician. These have very similar energy to me. Initially, we have the hands. We have a thumbprint in the hand that both speak to our own role in our magic. We have the elements in both. This, to me, almost speaks a little bit High Priestess, with like who we are, who we're what our blueprint is. When I see the thumbprint, where the Magician in the full deck is more creating that magic. I think I prefer the full deck Magician. Oh wow, these are so similar but so different. In the Major Arcana deck, she's going in, and in the full deck, she's looking out. I will probably include both of these cards. The Empress. This one to me is a little more, of course, symbolic, where this is the act of through receiving, we create. We don't, having both pieces of that in the flower. I prefer the full deck. This is really, oh, friends, this is really interesting. So with the Empress, the major Arcana deck was the more symbolic, where in the, with the Emperor, it's more symbolic in the full deck. This is interesting. Wait, where is the, do I not have I put these in the wrong order? Hold on. Wow. I'm glad I can read. We're going to try this again. That was rewinding. Emperor. Both of them are very symbolic, which makes sense because there is this idea of structure in the Emperor. I much prefer the Emperor here because we do actually see that structure piece. Wow, Chrissy cannot do Roman numerals today. Let's try this again. Mm-hmm. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hi. Chrissy still struggles with Roman numerals. I'm very curious. I'll be very curious in the guidebook to see about this progression of 3 from the Hierophant. I prefer the teacher here, I think. Having the keys, the process of how we want to interpret, manage those keys, and then with what is closest to us being what is ready to be unlocked. I'll have to check the guidebook for the meaning of the 3 crowns here. The Lovers, these are both beautiful. This is about sharing emotion. This is just being tied together. I think of the Lovers as how we look at ourselves and how we can see ourselves through the eyes of those that love us. And I think because of that, I like this Lovers because it shows us being tied to like our truest self, who we are, and then to the way we present in the world. I love both of these cards. The Chariot, again, very similar. A light hand and a dark hand through the moon phases. I personally don't do a lot of work with symbology. I do with the elements, but not with anything astrological. So I would probably choose the full deck for the Chariot. Justice is interesting because the Major Arcana deck implies, I think, fate and cycles in justice, where there's a impact of the choices that we make in the full deck. The Hermit, both of these are beautiful. This reminds me very much of the, was it Interconnected or just connectedness? And when seeing how we are connected to cosmos and how that door, how we can look inside to find that connection as opposed to outside. And then this has a solitude factor. I love both of these. The Wheel, this one's got my heart. I just see the way I understand the Wheel more present than with the Snake and the Wings. We have Fortitude and Strength. I wish this card said strength. I love the concept of a vertebrae of our spine, on how we stand and how we appear and confront the hard things in the world. This looks a little more magician to me with the infinity symbol in the middle. I would choose the Fortitude, although I wish it said strength. The Hangman and Sacrifice. Again, I prefer this card, but I wish it said the Hanged Man instead of Sacrifice. I think of the Hangman more as perspective than sacrifice, but I really enjoy this, our emotions being what is held. Yeah, I wish this card said the Hangman. I will leave both of these in because this is death facing forward. This is death facing backward. I think that perspective shift is very important and very valid. I love both of these. And I want to be clear, in these times when I'm like, oh, I would choose this card over that one, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the card I'm not choosing. It's just a total, and as you can tell, a very gut-based preference. So Harmony and Temperance, again, I wish this card said Temperance. I don't necessarily feel like either one of these are particularly how I read Temperance. I read Temperance as like taking things that don't necessarily agree and creating something different, which I guess is like coming down here. We have this, like we have this side and this side that comes together to create alchemy in the figure. The sun is coming out all of a sudden, so I apologize for the shadow that we're getting here on the cards. The Devil, I love this Devil. It feels very Eight of Swords to me, which I think is how I typically read the Devil. Very, we're stuck in something and looking, and we're needing to be prodded out. What we're doing is harmful for us. We need to move through, but we can't see how to do that. I love this version of the Devil. The Tower, I love this Tower. Thinking of how our roots are solidified when the things above us fall. I love reaching toward the star. The Moon, I like the crystals to represent like the dark and the light side of the moon. But this looking out from a place of protection and still looking outside and dreaming and hoping, and I like both of these. The Sun, I like the sun coming through the bricks. Judgment, honestly, I don't get this one. Seeing ourselves with our full potential. I want to go with that one. We have the Cosmos and the World. This one is involving someone else in that process, which I like. And then here are the cards that are the bonus cards in the majors. So in the full deck, we have the New Moon, where the key is within us. We have the Full Moon, where the keyhole is in the moon. And then we have the Wanderer. This is a beautiful card. In the Majors only deck, we have the Self. I love that card. The Hidden Realm and the Eastern Skies. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Major Arcana deck out of my space to give me a little bit more. So the deck on the left was the Wandering Echo Major Arcana. And then we'll keep going through and I'll show you the minors in the Wandering Moon once I put these away. Okay, so we have moons, swords, stars, and wands. Okay, wait a minute. Wands, swords, stars, and moons. Okay, so with stars and moons, I'm honestly not sure which one is pentacles and which one is cups. So my gut would be that the moons are pentacles because of the roundness, but are the moons the cups because of the shifting and the flow of emotions and how that matches with water? And the stars, I think, could also be either. So let's check out the guidebook. Pentacles are stars and cups are moons. I'm probably going to forget that. I'm going to be honest. Pentacles are stars and moons are cups. Pentacles. So thinking about the star inside of the traditional pentacle, it's how I'll remember the star, and that the moon shifts as do our emotions. So let's go through as I try to solidify that for myself. So stars are pentacles. So we have the Ace. We have the Two of Pentacles with that sense of finding balance. We have the Three of Pentacles working together. This is how I like to talk through when I need clarity of what the suits are, and I need to solidify that in my brain. I'll talk through the cards. So the Four of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, we have a sense of boundary. So pulling in, holding only what we have space to hold. The Five of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, I'm working on it. The Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles doing the work. This is a nice representation of that. The Nine of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles showing this completion. I can get on board with that. The Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. All right, now we're going to move on to the Cups, see if I can find logical connection here. So the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Four of Cups, again holding close to something that is important and letting the other things take up space but not feeling forced to engage with them. The Five of Cups, what slipped through our fingers. The Six of Cups, the Seven of Cups, making that choice. The Eight of Cups, acknowledging that to follow one path, there are other paths we have to leave behind. The Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Page, sorry, Happy, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. Let's get these off the table and then we'll go through the swords and the wands. The Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords. This is interesting because it's the Two of Swords is through the head and the Three of Swords is through the heart. I don't know how I feel about this card, because I see typically bringing the Two of Swords being like the swords are protecting us so that we can go into our thoughts. So almost like really protective, like a protective hermit energy. I'm not sure how this reads, but I'll check out the guidebook. The Three of Swords, the Four of Swords. I love this card. The Five of Swords, defending if necessary. The Six of Swords, walking away. This is a little empowering for the way I read the Six of Swords. I usually see the Six of Swords with some sadness, some resignation in there, where this feels like a really powerful choice. So I'll have to sit with that. The Seven of Swords, protection. The Eight of Swords, how could things be easier if we removed a sword or two? The Nine of Swords, the Insomnia card. The Ten of Swords. This looks very Ten of Wands to me, with the path and dropping off what isn't necessary as we get to the top. But we'll see what the Ten of Wands looks like. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords. I love the handwriting here. And the King of Swords. And then moving finally into the wands that it looks like are represented by crystals. The Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. These are almost Pippish with the way that the elements have been represented in the twos so far. The Three of Wands. Almost the opposite energy of the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords was dropping off the elements as we go. This is like we're picking them up as we go, or guideposts at least. The Four of Wands. The Five of Wands. Ah, the success here in making it to the top of that mountain. And the Six of Wands. A very Pippish Seven of Wands. The Eight of Wands, I like this representation of speed and energy. And like, we kind of wait, and then boom, we go. The Nine of Wands, again, very Pippish. And the Ten of Wands, looking at what we're holding and how we're holding it. I see this as melting, which means it's hot. It could be hot and very uncomfortable in that process. Or are we just acknowledging that things are formed together? That's interesting. The Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Queen, the King, and then the title card, which is beautiful. So I'm curious, as I look to incorporating these decks into my practice, do you have these? Do you use these? How do they read for you? I would love to hear your thoughts as I move into working with the Wandering decks. I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, all of those things, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.